Hello, Cyclists of Stamford. Now you're all aware of Paul's challenges, the Collie Western climbs, the PB route, etc. But I thought as the nights are drawing in, we'd try a slightly different challenge, and this was inspired by us stopping to help a group of cyclists that had suffered a puncture on the big group ride last weekend. So because this is TCOS, I'm calling this the Tube Change Out Speed Challenge, which is effectively, if you get a puncture, how quickly can you swap out your inner tube in order to get back on the road? Because obviously the quicker you can get back out on the road, the less cold you get and the sooner you are on your way. Now, I always think I can do it pretty quick. I always say, oh, I can do it in a few minutes, you know. But I thought, here's your chance to find out. And better still, let's make a little video of it and see how quick you guys can do it and ultimately see who can get the fastest time on this. So obviously I've got wheel, tyre. It's a tubed one. I normally ride tubeless, but for the purposes of the challenge, being a tube change out, you need a tube in there. Also got some tyre levers and a trusty pump. Now this is a pump that you can do a boost charge. It's specifically for tubeless tyres, but it simulates the sort of thing you get with a gas canister at the end of the road. I'm not suggesting you waste a gas canister, but yeah, if you can get one of these, or if you've got an air compressor, that sort of thing, it does make it quicker and easier to re-inflate the tyre afterwards, because ultimately what we want to do is get the tube changed out, tyre back on, air in the tyre, and then re-secure the little securing nut and the valve cap, at which point the timer stops. So that's the challenge. I haven't rehearsed this. This is just a spare wheel I've got. I've put a Continental 5000 tubeless tyre on here because it's the only one I have free, but it also goes to prove that if you're running tubeless, you can actually put a tube in if the worst comes to the worst. So without further ado, I'm going to start the timer and see how we get on. So wish me luck in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so taking off the valve cap, taking off the little securing nut, and we have the tyre levers at the ready. Obviously, if you have a shorter valve, that bit is going to take less time. So now to get the tyre off, which is one of the two things that takes the most time, especially if you're trying to do it in a hurry. There we go. Couple off, and come on, round she goes. Tyre unsecured, and tube out. Now to do it in reverse. Oh, before I do, check for punctures. So this is part of the challenge as well. Make sure that whatever gave you the puncture isn't going to give you another one as soon as you put a fresh tube back in. Now I always prefer to do this on my lap, because starting at the valve, you can very quickly and easily pop the tube in all the way around, he says. And then let's get this in as much as possible. Now at this stage, it's always a good idea to give this a really good squeeze all the way around to then give you maximum chance of getting this back on with your hands, which is part of the challenge as well. We don't want to see levers being used, because if you try and use levers out in the field, chances are you are going to give yourself another puncture. So time to inflate. In, pump off, fasten you up, reapply the little securing nut. Quick, 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 quick. Oh dear, time's running out, time's running out. Valve cap on, and stop the clock. And there we go. 1 tube change, air back in, ready to hit the road again. And that took me a grand total of 2 minutes 27.48 seconds. So there you go, fellow TCOSers. Show me what you can do. See you all soon.